I'm back. Okay, it's not really that great or amazing. Here I am. Hello, how's it going? Tim, Demotivator Opinion. I haven't made a video since April of 2019, and so I thought I would get back into the game by doing a shitty, unscripted vlog kind of ramble that I've put zero effort into to show you how much I value you guys and my channel. So first things first, I think like the primary goal of this video is to try not to look like I've aged too much. I'm a bit concerned about this hair situation. How scraggly and shitty does my hair look? Or does it look beautiful? Am I still baby-faced? Am I still young? I got ID'd buying alcohol the other day at the store, and I'm 36 now, so that's a good sign. Have I also been successful? Not being on YouTube, living my own life? Yes, I have. Look, I've got this house now, and there's a beautiful painting in the background there of a mountain. I've got a drum kit. I've got these guitars, and well, I already had all of those before when I was doing YouTube, but I've bought a house and I have a steady income, and yeah, I mean, I'm still married, so I'm a successful man. Just been away from YouTube because I've been doing so well. Like, honestly, I don't need YouTube, you know, no reason to be here. I do it as a service to the fans, so hi. I've got this whole rumpus room down here where I can just do whatever I want, have a studio, etc. And I bought this house with all of these resources, and I haven't used them at all because, to be honest, you know, I'm so busy in my real life, I don't even need the internet. I'm doing so well. One thing I want to do before I get started rambling about what I wanted to ramble about today is to take a look at my YouTube statistics. So I haven't made a video since April of 2019, which was just a stream of me depressingly playing Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. I could never beat Father Boss in that game. That boss is impossible. None of the tips, any of the guides, or the videos give for Father work. Unbeatable.
You'll have to be holding forwards and dodge twice in succession to avoid both of these attacks. You'll end up behind him, allowing you to hit him with the charged sword attack. His arm raising up in the air will signal his shuriken attack, so be ready to dodge twice in a row to avoid it, and the follow-up sword attack.
I beat everyone else though. So I've had minus 11 subscribers in the past 28 days, 2,000 views, it's gone up 1%. Down 11% watch time, down 22% revenue. So everything's down across the board. This is a bad sign. Maybe not making videos for over a year impacts your channel. But I had just inched over 10,000 subscribers when I stopped making videos in April 2019. I've only lost about 200 subscribers in over a year, so it's amazing how many people stay subscribed to channels that are not producing any content. People's subscribe lists must be so full of channels that are completely dead and don't have any new content at all. Maybe this video will be a reminder that my channel exists, that you're subscribed to it, and you should probably unsubscribe because I ain't doing shit. I'm gonna work hard, get back over 10,000 subscribers over the next year and a half. That's my goal. Can I get 200 more subscribers? You can do it, Tim. You can do it. This has been your dream. To get back mildly to where you used to be. That's my new life goal. So what do I actually want to talk about in this video? Well, it's called Where Have I Been? So where have I been? I haven't been fucking anywhere at all. I've just been hanging around here doing all the same shit that I was doing otherwise, just in my brand spanking new house. I haven't become any less political, I haven't become any less progressive, I still follow the news as much as I ever did. I just honestly don't really pay that much attention to YouTubers and YouTube videos by all of the different personalities and people involved in the sort of community and adjacent community of the left and of YouTube shitlords and anti-SJWs and anti-feminists and feminists and pro-social justice advocates, etc. I've really just disengaged from that, besides watching a few videos from, say, the YouTuber Destiny getting in ridiculous, absurd, mind-numbing debates with right-wingers that destroy your brain cells and make you stressed and leave you sad to just see the state of humanity. I think I really noticed this disengagement when I started watching YouTube videos that had nothing to do with politics, and that just really snowballed into continually watching more and more YouTube videos that had absolutely nothing to do with the old topics that I would obsess over. I started just watching a huge range of really random topics on YouTube. First, I started watching gamer channels, so I started watching a ton of content of just random video game people.
The more I think about it, the more I feel that randomizer mods like Colorful Hell must be really difficult to pull off correctly, because the temptation must be there to just shove all sorts of crazy crap into a WAD file and just let the chaos unfurl, let the player deal with it, and that doesn't always make for a satisfying player experience.
Hello, you absolute legends. It seems like with each passing year, GoldenEye players ask the question, how much lower can we go? How many more records can realistically be broken? Many people have speculated on the seemingly impending heat death of the game, where speedruns are so optimized that they simply can't be beaten.
Make sure to hit the LTN logo in the left to subscribe now. And if you click the video link on the right, you can find out about the tragedy of Helios Grill. My name's Luke the Notable. I want all of you to stay notable.
Somehow I got onto watching boxing videos, and I basically just caught up on every famous boxing match over the past 50 years and beyond. I watched a ton of Mike Tyson boxing matches and Evander Holyfield and a wide range of famous matches and really just looked at them and analyzed them. So I spent a while just watching boxing.
Good balance, his legs together as Busted landing these. Oh, nice uppercut by Busted Douglas. Look at this. He's knocked Mike Tyson down for the first time in his career. Mike Tyson hits the canvas. He's in big trouble. He may not be able to recover. It's up to 7 and 8. He's not gonna make it. Unbelievable.
Champion Ray Boom Boom Mancini. And he scored his a straight right hand. Mancini landed a combination right as the round started, and then a right hand sending Kim to the canvas, and it's all over. Ray Mancini.
If he chooses to use it, and if he stays confident in doing that, he's going to have to get active.
Oh, wow.
Broner very impressive in the fact that he's been knocked down twice, felt a lot of power, yet he still tries to come forward looking for the...
I randomly watched a ton of videos of people doing food reviews, of just going to restaurants and reviewing food, and I got kind of caught up in that for some reason.
What I'm working with here is a 500 cold. Basically, it is a 500 calorie sandwich. Comes with super lean turkey, avocados, mustard, lettuce, tomatoes, olives, mild peppers, Italian sauce, onions, which I chose to substitute off, chopped pickles, served on a whole wheat roll. But basically, what I'm working with here is 500 calories. I am gonna put on the topping of Baja sauce because I've had this sauce before and it is amazing.
I've basically watched every thriller movie that exists on Netflix. Just endlessly watching thriller movies. Some of them are so bad. Tyler Perry movies.
Thank you.
Sorry I'm late, babe. Hi, I'm Diana. I'm Robert's fiance.
Garbage. I started watching bad movie reviews. I watched basically all of Chris Stuckman's videos.
And by the time I heard the first line of dialogue out of our protagonist's mouth, my laughter overpowered the sound system.
I can't talk too long. I gotta poo.
Can't talk too long. I gotta poo. Is the first line out of John Travolta's mouth. As a writer, whenever you are introducing your character, you have an opportunity here. This is your first chance to show us what you want to communicate with this guy. And we get...
I can't talk too long. I gotta poo.
I love this movie. I love it. It's a horrible movie.
And this Canadian guy called Fanboy Flicks, who just talks about terrible movies. Really good to just put on in the background.
So Samurai Cop and Frank go to check on the driver of the van, and here we have probably one of the worst scenes of all time. I'm gonna try and go through it piece by piece. First, they ask the nurse if he can answer a few questions, and she says not for a few weeks because he's all burned, obviously. And then it goes right to this.
Do you like what you see?
I love what I see.
Would you like to touch what you see?
I mean, wow. Is she a nurse or a Bourbon Street hooker? And Samurai Cop's reaction is incredible.
Yes, I would.
Would you like to f me?
Bingo.
Wow, how could any woman resist his charm?
The only politics I've been watching all this time has been the Majority Report with Sam Cedar, the Young Turks, occasional Kyle Kalinske videos, and of course following the general politics of the world through YouTube, C-SPAN, watching speeches, Fox News, CNN, etc. Are you gonna jump? Oh yeah, and like music YouTubers, that's another thing. I've watched a lot of this guy, Stevie T. And it's like he's so incredible at guitar. He's so prolific, he's so excited and energized, and he's just bouncing off the walls. And everything is edited to perfection. And he always makes these amazing songs.
But then he got angina. But then he got angina.
It's kind of like you see the YouTubers right at the top of the pile, and it's like, man, that looks like so much work. I don't really have the personality for it. I'm just not bouncy enough. I'm not excited enough. I don't really have any fucking ideas right now. How can you get to that level? I just, I could never get to what Stevie T is doing. I'm nowhere near good enough at guitar. I don't have the drive to get that good at it. I'm not very motivated. So it's like, if I can't get success in this particular political space just by being lazy and rambling, and I can't be this hugely successful creator who puts a ton of forethought into their videos and has a really sparkling personality that just jumps off the screen, and I just don't have the passion anymore because politics has made me dead inside, I give up. I'm just gonna spend my whole life sitting around being like, why don't I make a video? I wish people liked me. Why can't I be like ContraPoint? So that was how I really knew that I was getting to a point where I could easily stop making videos, because I just didn't really care about what was going on online. And I know that successful YouTubers, they make videos about topics, so they'll choose a subject. They might make a video like the history of the Federal Reserve and how it's resulted in discriminatory policies against minorities and systemic racism throughout history, and it'll be full of skits and different costumes and research and scripting.
Je m'appelle Mademoiselle E, maîtresse de la résistance, et je voudrais vous raconter une histoire. Il y a deux choses que les Français faisons
very
très
well.
bien.
And the second is scandal. In 1894, a French army officer named Captain Alfred Dreyfus was charged with selling military secrets to Germany.
But I never really made videos like that. My videos are just rambling about what other people are saying, It doesn't have a huge amount of substance. I don't pretend to be a scholar or have any particular insight into anything. I just have my opinions and my views on things. And it was like, if I am starting to get desperate about success and views and attention and worth in some kind of online space, I'm gonna have to start making videos about whatever topic it would be, some deep video essay on something. And I just don't know if I have that in me. I'm just a random guy. I've got no expertise, and this is just like a rambly therapy session. I used to watch all those videos of like Sargon of Akkad making ridiculous, absurd arguments.
See, look, this is what I mean about the chat. I just can't be bothered to deal with people who treat me like this. It's really annoying. Like, you are acting like a bunch of niggas, just so you know. You act like white niggas. Exactly how you describe black people acting is the impression I get dealing with the alt-right. I'm just not in the mood to deal with this kind of disrespect.
Now I just see some Twitter snippets and just think, oh, he's still a dumbass. Nothing's really changed there. But I used to wade through these videos and look for things that I disagreed with and try to find different points to fight about. There's lots of old names that are not really worth bringing up. There's this whole range of anti-social justice, anti-feminist YouTubers making all of these videos about people being triggered and culture war garbage and conservatism nonsense that I just couldn't stop paying attention to and couldn't stop arguing about, because I believe that I could actually get through to people and change their minds about being bigoted, that I could open their mind about what feminism is really trying to achieve and what it's really about, and I could talk to them about what social justice really is, and that I could get my progressive views across to these folks and open their minds and have a really productive dialogue. And I don't think I was picking apart like right-wingers videos and saying this is sexist and misogynistic and this is disgusting and this is transphobic and this is ableist and this is all of those different words that we use to describe people being horrible douchebags in order to be morally superior and pure and lord myself over other people. I genuinely don't believe in my heart of hearts that I've ever been progressive for that reason or taken particularly strident points of view against things that I perceive to be, for example, transphobia, just to be a moralizer and say, I'm better than you. I don't know, maybe it's like a subconscious thing, and I'm sure many people could think, oh, you think you're so pure, you think you're so great, you think you're better than everyone else. But the reason that I really believed that I was doing those things is because I thought if I just say the unvarnished truth about what things are moral based on my worldview and my perception, they will come to understand that, and they'll really get it. It will click with them. They'll say, right, I can see why that point of view and continually pushing that narrative does enable racism, and I can see how that will lead to inequality, and I can see why that it's not a humanist thing to think. And when they wouldn't take on that point of view but would just get really proud or angry or offended or annoyed, start strawmanning me, start really fighting me about those things, and then making points about me that I perceive to be unfair, like them calling me a moralizer and saying I'm trying to be so pure and better than them, when I say that's not why I'm saying that. I'm saying that because that's actually racist. Oh, you just call everything racist, you triggered liberal libtard, yeah. That led to a huge amount of frustration in me, where I was like, I don't understand why they're not listening to my points. I don't understand why it's not getting through. And that raises your stress level. That raises like your confusion about why is everything just this partisan war. You've got this group here, they cannot connect in any way because they can't actually see each other's points. You make a point, it's like, view like that, perhaps their point's not getting through to me. It doesn't work. So I also came to perceive that this entire idea of a discourse, debate, conversation, etc. is just pure mind-numbing bullshit because it's not true. There's no sort of bipartisan working together discussion because we're all part of these kind of like mind meld collectives. Even these people who say I'm all about individuality and liberty and freedom and just doing your own thing, they will fall behind specific thought leaders. Whether it be people falling behind, for example, Trump, or even Joe Biden, or some YouTuber that they idolize and fall behind. I really like, for example, Bernie Sanders, but I like to think that if he did or said something that I really objected to, I'd be able to call that out. I mean, hopefully I would. But all of these individual sort of thought leaders and theorists, they all appear to kind of exist, from my perspective, to create followings, and then their followers can regurgitate the things that they say. And it's not about engaging with other people's thoughts and views and opinions. That's something that we really idealize. We worship this concept of this kind of open, free dialogue between different individuals who are listening to each other. But all of my experience on YouTube did nothing but to degrade the sense that that's even a thing. When I first went on YouTube, I was really fresh-faced and I would say naive.
Hi, this is my YouTube channel. In which I'll talk about stuff that I'm interested in. You might be interested in it. If you're not interested in it, then, you know, don't watch my channel. But if you are, do watch my channel. Ha! Gay!
Really thinking, this is my chance to get across my point of view and have a dialogue and a conversation and a discussion and build up allies so that we can all work together towards a common goal and we can all be friends and shit. That's what I thought at first. Whenever it didn't work out, that led to a lot of passion, a lot of rage, a lot of anger, that I would try to pummel down this person, make a video where I say, you're a fucking idiot. You know what the fuck you're talking about, you stupid motherfucker. There is evidence. It's in my video. Go look at it. Go look at it. Go look at it. Use your fucking eyes. Go look at his videos. Look at the link. It says original videos. Got the link. You click on it. You go to the original video, and you can see the Bearing fans harassing the person. Go look at it. Go fucking look at it with your fucking eyes, Willie, for fuck's sake. Just because you don't fucking listen. You know? Is that your fucking argument? Your argument is, I don't listen. I'm in the middle. I see everything just how it's supposed to be because I don't fucking pay attention. That's not a fucking argument, Willie. And I really try to own that person, even though that's not what I thought I was trying to do. Because being involved in politics, online and in many areas of life, completely fucks you mentally, spiritually, your well-being is completely down the toilet. The friendships and connections that are really there often seem like they're just sort of teetering on the edge of one disagreement or another, leading to a complete cutting off of that. And that caused me to lash out in ways that I think, looking back now, kind of ridiculous. I don't get that level of like indignancy now about people taking disgusting, shitty points of view, because I just think, yeah, of course. I mean, it's politics. Like, people think shitty stuff. You can't really like convert or change people's minds. They just have to like kind of grow out of that. I guess I could try to be a person who helps nudge people towards thinking things which are more humanistic and kinder and, you know, more restorative, etc. But that passion and that drive and that sense of like, I've just got to fucking push through this so that I can get these people to see trans people as human beings. And I gotta break through the wall so that I can say, hey guys, maybe we should tax the rich more so we can have more social programs and we could really try to help people. And also maybe we shouldn't do online harassment, etc. Maybe we should be a bit more tolerant and kind to other people. But I've not listened to anything anyone else has said. Yeah, I've got a problem with that. Fuck your conversation. My desire to spread that message to others completely dropped away, because I was just like, you know what? People just want to be shit. They just want to be shit. They don't give a fuck. Like, if they look at videos by me and stuff that I'm saying, they're not really seeing me, or they're not really hearing what I'm saying, because there's this entire wall of politics in front of it. And I'm a bit combative too, so if I'm being combative, they're gonna be defensive. And because I really care about a lot of these topics, I can't just wash away that combativeness. I can't just say like, oh hey guys, I'm just gonna be like really placid and friendly and kind and understanding.
I just want to say, you know, can we all get along? Can we get along? Can we stop making it horrible for the older people and the kids?
Obviously, I would be that way if I wasn't being a little bit hypocritical, because I want to be this kind, liberal, kind of airy-fairy individual who's understanding and listening to everybody, but I can't practice what I preach. So due to indeed being a little bit of a hypocrite, because I wanted to browbeat people, fuck your conversation, into thinking the stuff that I think, but then believing that that's not browbeating, it's just me making really good factual points that they couldn't argue with, and them coming back with some bullshit strawmanning kind of obfuscation that just like really wears me down. At least that's my perception of what they're doing. I really got to the point where just turning on a camera and talking like I'm doing now is just such a gargantuan idea, like such a difficult task, that honestly, since April of 2019, I've been going to bed every night thinking like, oh, I want to make a video, I want to do another video, like I'm a YouTube person. I make videos, I do videos, and just thinking, the very task of setting up, turning on the camera, recording audio, it's just too fucking much. And what the hell is the point? Why would I bother doing that? There's no reason. So I can get back the same fucking white noise that's just been going on the whole time. And what new do I have to say? What do I really have to offer?
Full son of a bitch! I am not a loser!
It just became such a mental hang-up that it was impossible for me to make a video. I just couldn't do it. So why can't I let it go? Why am I still trying to make YouTube videos? Why can I not forget about making YouTube videos over the course of a year or something? I mean, I always said over and over, I'm gonna quit doing YouTube, and commenters would always say, you're never gonna quit, you can't give it up. And I guess I'm back again. I think it has to be about some sort of desire for life to matter, to be important, for your voice to be one that actually changes people's minds and is an important voice in the dialogue and the discourse.
I'm important too, Mom. I'm important too. Let me go.
I mean, unless you were doing YouTube for a living, and then it could be, I guess, a combination of making a living and being an important voice, feeling like you have status, feeling like you have self-worth. Because honestly, I'm not the kind of person who thinks that life has a point. I just don't think it has a point at all. I think I'm going to go through my life, I'm going to eventually die, I'm going to turn to ash, everyone's going to forget me, and that's going to be it. That's just going to be the end. My life doesn't matter, your life doesn't matter. Life doesn't matter.
One thing to say is that the universe doesn't owe us any meaning. It could be that there is no meaning of life. And if so, that would be just tough.
The only reason I believe the restorative social justice things that I do is just to try to improve the human condition while we're here, while we're around. But I don't think it ultimately has any point at all. So it does make perfect sense that trying to be on YouTube is, by and large, and not just for me, but I think for a lot of people, just an attempt to have your life have meaning or purpose.
I really hate to say this. I think there's someone hanging right there.
Excuse me?
I guess that's the same reason we do just about anything, isn't it? But YouTube was just one of the few things where I thought, like, maybe I can have some sort of point. I guess. Maybe that's why I can't let it go. And yeah, I know, the religious or the spiritual or other people might say, why are you involved in trying to improve the world if there's no point to life and you're just going to turn to dust and you're going to die? And I would just say, if our thoughts and our feelings and our emotions and our temporal bodies are the only thing that we have, then we just got to work hard on improving that, because that's all there is. Surely an eternity of darkness, which is what I think we have to look forward to, is certainly no better than being alive, especially if you can improve your life and improve the lives of others. It's just an alternative, and it's hard to say whether it would be better or worse. It just is. You might as well make the most of the life that you have right now, even though I can't follow my own advice or practice what I preach. So just do as I say, not as I do. Yeah, I waste my life a lot. That's some of the points that I've got about my burnout and my hang-ups about making YouTube videos. To this day, if I get in an argument with someone on social media where I feel like they're not really listening to my points, I get filled with a lot of stress and annoyance and anxiety. And I just want to get out of the conversation, but then you can't quit the conversation because you're already in it and you're trying to get the person to see your point of view, and it's just no good. It's all a terrible waste of time. But your internal passion about these topics always rises up when you're arguing with somebody on the internet. Not so much in real life, where it's a lot easier to just be like, But I would say the main reason for my trauma and triggering about not being able to make any videos is actually more to do with the left itself, because everything is the fault of the left.
Much of the left is no longer progressive, but regressive.
The left is bad. Fucking leftists. When I started YouTube, I was just being a progressive in the vein of, say, Kyle Kalinske, sort of-ish. I kind of disagree with him sometimes, but, you know, overall. Young Turks, David Pacman, again, sort of. Sam Cedar, yeah, I watch Sam Cedar all the time, and I think I agree with him a lot on many topics. So he's probably the best example, just in that kind of vein. But over time, there arises this concept of breadtube, or further left people, people verging on communism, people who really talk a lot about socialism. And I was fine with that happening because, yeah, no big deal, it's just another point of view of the left. But the rise of this breadtube thing was also accompanied by particular voices in left-wing YouTube becoming a lot more prominent because they became a lot more popular, their voices became a lot stronger, they got listened to a lot more. And this was coupled by a very strong push towards the left on the political spectrum, verging more into socialism and communism. All of that in theory was fine, but I do think that it resulted in a kind of political purity mongering amongst some of these bigger voices, and ironically a really hierarchical structure to YouTube itself, where you began to have all of these kind of sycophantic hive mind fans of particular creators. I think YouTube itself is kind of modeled on capitalism.
Yeah, it's rewind time. Yeah, if I control rewind, I would want Fortnite and Marquez Brownlee. Well done.
It's basically just a competition model where everyone is trying to get their voice elevated over other people and create a following so that they can be somewhere on a hierarchy of creators. And it's not just, you know, political YouTube, it's also regular YouTube as well. Whether it's people who play video games or movie reviewers or people who make music, everyone is just fighting for a piece of the hierarchy of YouTube. So when the breadtube concept really blew up online, it was extremely alienating to me, this idea that as a kind of left-wing bunch of creators, we were trying to be above other people in terms of influence. I just couldn't understand that, and it seems to go completely against everything that the left is supposed to stand for. I'm not even a socialist, you know. I'm more of a liberal kind of individual, but I don't think I really have a competitive bone in my body. I just can't be fucked competing for like views or for attention, all this sort of thing. So when it came that people were saying, oh my god, how could you say this about ContraPoints?
But yeah, they're gonna see the title and they're gonna transcribe quotes out of context and they're gonna say I'm a fascist, I'm a TERF, I'm Truscum, I'm the new Blair White, I'm the new Lacey Green, I'm a cis bootlicker, I'm an enlightened centrist, I'm a shit lib, I'm alt-right, I'm a heartless grifter raking in millions of dollars over the bodies of dead trans women. Mask off. Yikes. This ain't it, Chief. Friendly reminder that this isn't a good look. Maybe don't be a cis bootlicker. Disappointing. But they're saying all those things already, so I'm inoculated. See, their mistake was completely breaking my spirit. They should have left a little piece intact. But it's good, it's good, it's good. Because basically, my survival from here on out hinges on my ability to not care at all what people say about me online. So, here's to not giving a fuck.
How could you say this about Vaush? Vaush? I don't know, whatever his name is.
Because I woke up this morning to find that I had, in fact, been cancelled. Damn, what are you going to do? We go on Twitter right now, twitter.org.com, and if we search my name, I'm reasonably sure there's going to be some people who are mad at me.
I think you're being really unfair to Peter Coffin, you know, he's done so much good work and people who watch his stuff really know what he's about.
Hey you, I'm a cancelled Peter.
Cancel, oh yeah, I believe.
So, here we are again, cancel culture. Right?
I was just very confused about this. It was kind of like, what? I'm meant to like respect ContraPoints more because ContraPoints has tons of subscribers? I'm meant to respect ContraPoints views more? Why? Is it because ContraPoints has succeeded more in this capitalist construct? And I'm not even saying that I fundamentally dislike ContraPoints. I disagree with a lot of what she thinks, especially on the way, I guess, that she explores trans topics and obsesses over all this cancel culture stuff. But it was alien to me, this idea that leftists and breadtubers would really embrace this hierarchical structure of YouTube in order, I suppose, to win at capitalism and therefore be able to dismantle it once they had reached the top of the pile. As far as I could see, it had absolutely nothing to do with socialism, and I do think it had more to do with kind of moral purity, because when you get in a discussion with people, they're like, well, you're just a fucking liberal. You're just a fucking liberal. I'm a fucking socialist. Obviously, I'm a better person, and I think better stuff. I never understood that.
In the first place, there are in all large towns almost enough empty houses and flats to lodge all the inhabitants of the slums. As to the palaces and suites of fine apartments, many working people would not live in them if they could. One could not keep up such houses without a large staff of servants. Their occupants would soon find themselves forced to seek less luxurious dwellings. The fine ladies would find that palaces were not well adapted to self-help in the kitchen. Gradually, people would shake down. There would be no need to conduct Dives to a garret at the bayonet's point, or install Lazarus in Dives' palace by the help of an armed escort. People would shake down amicably into the available dwellings with the least possible friction and disturbance.
That doesn't make sense.
It should be more about like the actual substance of what you're saying, and I think if you're just talking about a socialist utopia and you can't really describe how the hell we're going to get there or how what you're doing is actually better for the world right now, that only makes you superior to me in name only, just in how you describe yourself. You describe yourself as better because you're a socialist. What have you fucking done? And if you embrace the hierarchical capitalist structure of YouTube, you're just playing into the whole system that you're complaining about. Shouldn't there be a kind of socialism of ideas and everyone should be working together and being kind to each other and really working towards a goal? But everyone's competing with each other. It didn't make any sense to me. And I found that people that I had built like communities with had really started to have particular affiliations to creators because they began to kind of worship these folks for having lots of subscribers and being really successful. As for why I didn't have tons of subscribers and was really successful, I kind of get that because I generally haven't scripted my videos. I haven't really polished them. I think that people that are more successful really kind of engineer and structure their videos in a way which will lead to that sort of success. And I just don't think I did that. I certainly wasn't concerned about that at all in the early days. But the more competitive, this kind of BreadTube space became, the more self-conscious and anxious about the structure of my own videos. And oh, was I really hitting those core messages and structuring this video in such a way that I could get more attention and get more views and get more people to like me so that I can be more influential in this fucking bullshit socialist competition? I began to really think so much about what my videos were doing to the point that I couldn't make them anymore, because in the past I'd just turn on the video and just go for it. I didn't give a shit. I'd just go for it. It wasn't like that anymore. I was like, oh, am I gonna be as popular as Jack Saint? That's just a random name I pulled out. I honestly didn't even know he had tons of subscribers until recently, and his videos seemed good. You know, I don't want to call out anybody specifically, but you see this leftist space, everyone's fucking sucking up to each other so much. It's really off-putting. I can think of a range of different people who will do nothing but sycophantically post in other people's Twitter threads just to be like, oh, that's a really good point, oh, that's great. By the way, I can't wait to come on your channel and have a discussion on Saturday so I can promote myself more for the goal of socialist utopia. I really think that the left-wing space online just has become so much more about self-promotion and creating some sort of image about yourself. And I know it seems so highfalutin and so mighty of me to say that I was just about the ideas and shit, but to be honest, I think I was just passionate about getting my point of view across and talking about issues that I was interested in. And when the space became so competitive, it's still so ironic because it's meant to be socialist, I just felt like I can't compete, you know? And the only way for me to actually make YouTube videos is to get rid of all those hang-ups, just turn on the camera, I guess like I'm doing now, and just rant and not care. That's it. I think that's the only way that I can do it. So I guess I just have to get over the idea that I have to compete on the left. So ironic. So yeah, it's all about a product. I don't know if I can provide such product. I don't know if I can do the kind of promotion that you need to do to actually get by in this space. Everyone's got a fucking brand, you know? I don't have anything, I just some guy. That's it. That doesn't make me better than anyone, certainly. It does kind of mean that I'm just a very lazy person. I can admit that. Oh yeah, and I also don't have the talent, and I just don't know how I could magically conjure being incredibly awesome at anything. So... But that's probably enough for now. So because this is unscripted and I had about 10,000 things in my head that I wanted to say, I'll go back and watch this video and think, man, this really didn't fucking go anywhere. My videos completely lack structure and I never even end up saying half of the shit that I even wanted to say. So while I'm editing, I'll be saying, I should have said this, I forgot to say that, god damn it, this was going to be such a good point, and it's not in there. And because I like to film my videos always wearing the same clothes so that you don't have cut up edits, I'm not going to be able to go back and actually fix it up unless I do it the following day, and the lighting will be all different and I won't really look the same, and you can see the edits that I'm doing right now because there's lots of gaps in what I'm saying, so I'm editing it. Because I don't even have the gift of the gab about the stream of consciousness. What am I doing here? But I wrote down a list, and this is actually mostly an old list. I wrote it on the 29th of January 2019, and I've just added a few extra things here of videos that I had planned and that I was going to work on that I never actually made. I was trying to think of how to sum up how I came to feel about making videos, and there's one sound that I saw on a TV show that I think really nails it. So I'm just going to read out the names of these videos that I never made or are incomplete and I recorded some of but I never edited, followed by my feeling about it. A song called Stagnation, which I've actually fully recorded and made a music video for, but I never released because I felt like it wasn't good enough. A video about being depressed. A video about ContraPoints. A video about Elon Musk and his life, all of the details about him and how he's really overrated and people worship him in a scary way that's completely undeserved because he's not actually a very good guy. A video comparing socialists to cats. I kind of forgot the details of that one. Addressing Sargon of Akkad's argument that illegal immigration hurts black people. A video about Destiny debating with leftists versus him debating with right-wingers, and the differences in that and the quality of those debates. Talking about the contradictions of BreadTube, which I've touched upon in this video. Talking about Dave Chappelle and Bill Burr's unfunny comedy specials, and particularly their tired anti-trans humor. Making a video about the trans sports issue, which was encapsulated in the YouTuber rationality rules versus essence of thought. Talking about Justin Trudeau's use of blackface. Another video about ContraPoints and cancel culture and the obsession over that. Talking about Andy No's coverage of Antifa. Talking about PewDiePie giving money to the Anti-Defamation League and then all of his fans being angry at him about it, so he had to take that money back or cancel it. Discussion of Joe Biden versus Bernie Sanders and the political establishment of the Democrats, plus touching on Joe Biden's perceived mental decline. Of course, a video talking about coronavirus, COVID-19, and how that's been handled around the world. A video about George Floyd being shot by police, talking about the protests, talking about police violence, and talking about Black Lives Matter. And that's for sure not all of them, because there's a whole range of other videos that I could have made, but I never did. Because it just feels like stuff just keeps going. It keeps going, it keeps going. It keeps being shitty. Trump's still being a piece of shit. People are still being assholes. There's still terrible news. People are getting shot. People are getting killed. Coronavirus is going all over the place. People are still disagreeing, having arguments, being uncharitable. Everyone's being a fucking hypocrite. It's all bullshit. It's all just nonsense. And you get worn down by that. You just think like, fuck, I can't really work on this right now. I can't do it. But I can't leave. I have to keep coming back and having a look. Like, yes, everything still sucks. And I've really noticed that specifically after George Bush left the presidency, it was like the right wing was dying and nobody cared about them. And it was just completely gone, at least in terms of the American right wing. Like, they didn't have any fans amongst young people. But I noticed how that completely changed over the course of Obama because of the culture war shit about feminism and SJWs and trigger warnings and safe spaces and such. Over the course of the Obama administration, the right wing used that to become popular again amongst younger people. And that perpetuated online so that it basically resurrected the right, because the right was like these old fossilized dinosaurs. And then when everything turned into this feminism, social justice shit, that made the right come back.
One of their political weapons is cancel culture, driving people from their jobs, shaming dissenters, and demanding total submission from anyone who disagrees. This is the very definition of totalitarianism.
What happens is that Poe comes up with some stupid plan to go to like intergalactic Monte Carlo with weird creatures that looks like it's from Harry Potter, and there are weird dog rabbits that run around, camel horses that run around. Also, we can get a bunch of social justice warrior crap about income inequality and animal rights.
There's a story across the pond out of the United Kingdom saying that the National Health Service is able to deny non-emergency care to people who make transphobic comments, whatever that means. You don't go along with the latest leftist ideological fad, you can be denied health care. Now, that's bullying. And of course, there's the political bullying, which we see all the time. And we see it from left-wingers who now want to make certain forms of thought effectively illegal.
They're motivated personally by resentment and power, but there aren't that many of them, and they're bloody cowardly. And if you face them down, they'll run away. So I would say we should face them down before they continue to wreak the kind of havoc that they're already wreaking on our society.
Young 20-year-old women need their own Illuminati to talk about, you know?
Yeah,
to blame their failures on.
Is that what's going on?
It's like it's Illuminati for girls. Finally,
it's
they
a
have their
conspiracy theory.
Illuminati.
Patriarchy.
Well,
As
there's
if
no
it's like
ask for the set definition. There isn't one. Isn't that suspicious?
It's same with racism.
The radical ideology attacking our country advances under the banner of social justice. But in truth, it would demolish both justice and society. It would transform justice into an instrument of division and vengeance, and it would turn our free and inclusive society into a place of repression, domination, and exclusion. They want to silence us, but we will not be silenced.
So I guess it's like fighting against all this stuff about cancel culture and safe spaces and trigger warnings and soy boys and, suppression of free speech if someone who is anti-trans wants to say they're subhumans comes and speaks at a college campus. Comic books and feminists being in movies and, all of this cultural garbage. Fighting against that because that's been the new resurgence of the death of the right wing after George Bush, that's been kind of the point of being political for me, and like being on YouTube and actually having these conversations and being part of this discourse. But over time, it's just worn me down because it's like, yeah, that's still the same. You go online, everyone's just going on and on. Safe spaces, trigger warnings, feminists, blueheads, something or other. They're putting this into the video games and they're putting this into the movies. And now cancel culture is the big thing, and heaps of the big leftists online and lots of the left-wingers, they buy into this whole narrative about cancel culture being a huge problem, which is really just the exact conduit for young people into the right wing, and they're perpetuating that, and you just get tired of seeing it every single day, so you just phone out because you're like, nothing's fucking changing, I'm just gonna wait until there's some kind of culture shift so that the online dialogue is not so boring and I'm not creative enough to come up with my own dialogue about something new and fresh. You know, I just have to go with what's happening, and because I'm so phoned out of this, like, I'm not around. So that's it for this video. I could summarize what I'm trying to say here, but I don't have a summary. It's just an unscripted hodgepodge of general thoughts. Does this mean that I'm coming back to YouTube, a triumphant return to get over 10,000 subscribers again and make lots of videos? I don't know. Maybe now that I've recorded this video, it will be easier to get over my massive hang-up about filming videos. Maybe I'll be able to get over my big hang-up about arguing with people and it killing me inside constantly. Maybe I'll get over being extremely stressed and anxiety-ridden about having arguments on social media, which is why I now take week to 2 week long breaks from even going on there, because I just can't be fucked. Maybe I will discover some talent, drive, skill, and ability with making videos, editing them. Maybe I'll script something. Maybe I'll record some incredibly awesome music with some music videos. Maybe I'll rekindle a lot of relationships with people online or make new ones. I don't fucking know. In the meantime, I bought a house, motherfuckers. I'm a homeowner. Maybe I'm gonna get over the fact that while I'm editing this video, I'm gonna be thinking, I didn't cover this point, I didn't cover that point, I didn't address this thing. I was gonna make that point so much better in my head. This video is fucking garbage.
Yeah.